Street performing, the people who go out to the street and dress up as Spider-Man, a statue, and some even have insane talents. And the most common place for these street performers to be at is the one and only Times Square. The place which has over 50 million visitors per year in the biggest city in America. But do these people even make any money? And if so, could I make any money?
You shut up. Hold on. I don't mind you doing your thing, but you can't knock my table on.
So when I tested this out exactly 1 year ago, nobody even talked to me except this homeless man and this girl who wanted me to spin a basketball on her finger. So because I made $0, I knew I had to come back to redeem myself. And because I've been practicing for over 1 year straight, I'm pretty sure I can make bank doing this. So I went to Times Square and started to street perform and landed all of my tricks perfectly. Then I tried to spin the ball on the concrete and do a backflip, but I didn't get it my first try, but on my second try, I landed it perfectly. And then I started to do some tricks I've never even done before, so everything was going perfect. Until I looked around and nobody was even watching me because they were all watching these other street performers. But I kept going because one person was filming me. But come to find out, he wasn't even filming me. So I gave up on that spot because everyone was still watching the other street performers. But I knew I couldn't give up like that, so I did what Drake would say. If you can't beat them, join them. So I went up to the other street performers and told them if I could be part of their show because they were getting hundreds of people to watch them. And after a long conversation, this happened. So basically, after I talked with them, they let me do the beginning of their show. And I landed every single trick first try, so the crowd was freaking out. So huge shout out to them because I definitely wouldn't have done as big as a street performance without them. But then the rain started, so we had to quit the performance early, and I'm just gonna quit this video and give up. You thought I was just gonna quit up just like that without getting yelled at by an old man in Times Square? Okay, that was a little bit too far, but you guys get the point. So the next day, we went back to Times Square, and instead of going to the side of Times Square, we went right in the middle to get more money. And it worked. Yeah, I know. Call me Albert Einstein. Call me Elon Musk. I'm too smart. So people were actually starting to watch me, and they started to form a circle around me to do my tricks. Until eventually, these group of guys started to notice my street performance. And after they were talking with each other, they came up to me and said this.
Oh, you're just trying to like take it from me. Take it like
So for the 1v1, it was the first person to steal the ball would win. So the other guy starts with the ball, and he starts dribbling, and I steal the ball away from him right off the bat. But apparently he said it didn't count, so he went again, and I stole the ball away from him 2 more times. So now it was my turn, and I started strong until eventually he tipped the ball away to the crowd. But I got the ball back, so I kept going until eventually I lost the ball behind me and hit this guy's table. So I grabbed the ball thinking nothing bad happened and started to 1v1 this guy again, and right when I was about to break this guy's ankles, the older guy came up to me and said this.
You shut up. Hold on. I don't mind you doing your thing, but you can't knock my table on.
So the guy was all mad because my ball hit his chess table, even though it didn't knock over any of his chess pieces. But he said he liked what we were doing, so I apologized to him and we were cool after that. So I went back to street performing, and right when I went back, this guy comes up to me and thought my tricks were sick. So I told him if he wanted me to spin a basketball on his finger, and he was down. So I spun the ball on his finger and he was freaking out. So I dabbed him up and he left, but eventually he came back and wanted to 1v1 me. And you know me, I took it personally, so I said yes. So he took his jacket off and he started with the ball. And I was locking him up for a solid 20 seconds until the disaster happened. Yeah, he kind of like broke my ankles, but I mean like, okay, I'm not trying to give any excuses, but like he did step on my shoe, but like, okay, I get it, I suck, okay, just we're just gonna go past this, okay? So after that, we were cool, so I went back to street performing. And while I was street performing again, I couldn't stop thinking if street performing was even about the money. Like this whole time, I couldn't stop thinking about how much money I can make street performing. Even though the best parts of this whole performance were when I was talking to the random people on the street. Even if it means I get my ankles broken and make no money. Because I still went out to the biggest city in America and showed the people what I can do. So now the real question is, does money buy you happiness? And after thinking long and hard about this, I think I know the answer to this question. Bro, of course money buys you happiness. Dude, these Shrek Crocs are literally fire.